I am going to be evaluating Kireet Kokala this evening. He is going to be doing his first speech, his Icebreaker. His speech title is Mastermind Alliance as a Life Goal. The purpose of this speech is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structures of a public speech. A little bit of background on Kireet's speech. Mr. Kireet Kokala is a 13-year veteran in IT and works as the Director of Analytics Practice in a consulting company. While his formal education includes a bachelor's degree from UGA in biology, pre-medicine, and a master's in computer science from Georgia State University, his passion is for leadership, and he's deeply rooted in being a multilingual poet. His yearning to learn and teach is part of his long-term goal to evolve into an effective speaker and leader. I'd like to introduce Kireet to his speech.
Thank you again, Elaine, for the warm welcome. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As you've heard in miniature, I have a background in science and engineering, which I've amassed over the past 10-15 years. And working in IT over the past 5 years at least has let me realize my own thirst for improving my fundamentals around human interaction, communication, psychology, leadership, and just being an effective learner throughout my life. I also believe that there's a course that everybody can plot from an area of perceived negativity to a place of positivity or perceived success. And to do that, I think we all need to acknowledge where we are, which is a baseline, and then move on from there. The way I've done it previously has been to align with this principle called Mastermind Alliance. And Toastmasters, to me, is an extension of that principle. Toastmasters has evolved over the decades with inputs from people from all walks of life, and so has Mastermind Alliance. In short, Mastermind Alliance started around the 1920s in the annals of psychology, where it was being paraded as a law. And at its crux, Mastermind Alliance basically is a partnership. It's a harmonious relationship between like-minded individuals that can come together and work on common tasks. You know, it's basically a symbiotic relationship where the collective byproduct of everybody is going to be greater than one singular genius person or somebody who just works very hard. So it's basically team building and team working at its core. And that's what Toastmasters means to me. It's an extension of this Mastermind Alliance that I've aligned myself with over time. Which brings me to my second point, adversity. I'm sure all of you have heard statements, or you've been through your ups and downs in life where you've been told, well, you're just not good enough to do something, you're not smart enough, or you're not old enough, and you don't make enough. If you've been there, that is a negative feeling, that is a negative point that you kind of root your nature in. That becomes part of your persona. And to plot a journey from there to a successful path takes time. It takes sometimes a community. It takes a lot of positive reinforcement to say, okay, I can evolve from here, and I can channel all my frustrations to become positive. That's Mastermind Alliance, and Toastmasters also gives you the opportunity to make the journey, the experience your own. It lets you kind of customize what you're feeling and bring to bear topics that are relevant to you. So in that sense, we all have a major purpose in life, sure. We're all shaped by our communities, our cultures, our own perception of reality. And where that intersects is in areas like Toastmasters, where you come out with your own reasoning and you try to justify, you know, the ends to mean or something like that. I'll end by saying that we're all drawn to these pursuits because we aim for improvement, we aim for constant learning. And while our personalities are kind of shaped by this adversity that we encounter, we also use it as a way to better ourselves. while this Mastermind Alliance is one goal that I've used to better myself, I'm hoping Toastmasters will be something else that I could marry into this Mastermind Alliance principle. And the biggest impact, however, will be the benefit I'll derive from everybody I interact with and take into consideration the positive and the negative inputs, the positive criticism overall to make my experience wholesome. Thank you.